They say no vow is more binding than one whispered to the dead. The final part of the ghost wedding ritual is not the fire, nor the burial, nor the altar draped in red silk. It is the silence that follows. A silence that should not be broken because if you listen too closely, you may hear someone answer back. In 1983, deep in the folds of the Luliang Mountains, an ethnography named Lin Kiao journeyed to record the remnants of funeral superstitions still lingering in isolated villages. She was rational, sharp-minded, trained in skepticism. But what she found was not just folklore, it was repetition. When asked about ghost weddings, Auntie Bay said softly, "It's not about the dead. It's about the living." Lynn asked what she meant. The old woman gestured toward the empty field outside the window, like a theater that refused to close, and the actors had forgotten they were dead. In the village of Yangshan, she interviewed a woman named Auntie Bay, aged 93, with fingers bent like the branches of old plum trees. "There," she said, "that's where my daughter was buried." She had no groom. Startled, Lynn pressed further. Auntie Bay revealed that her daughter, Lathan, had died of illness at 17. In grief, the family held no rites, no prayer, no wedding. But the year after, every suitor in the village either left or died. And Lathan's hair in the center of the graveyard and waited. Lathan and a nun figure made of ash, bone, and lacquered wood. She burned the marriage contract at midnight. Cows miscarried, wells dried. A photograph she had taken in Yangshan, the altar, the burial site, the little paper groom. "She is not angry," she said, "but she is married now." So Auntie Bay made a choice. She found a matchmaker, left a dowry of rice pearls. 1 week later, a strange child came to her door with a slip of paper unsigned with only one line, "The groom accepts." They buried 2 bundles. The wind howled like it had lungs. From that night on, the village knew peace. Crops bloomed. Children thrived, but Auntie Bay never entered her daughter's room again. Lynn, unnerved but committed to her work, collected over 50 such testimonies. Stories of ghost weddings arranged to ease grief, settle debts, lift curses, and if it breaks, they will come back for more. But one pattern emerged again and again. Once a ghost wedding was performed, the family line would never reach a 4th generation. Something always intervened, a stillbirth, an accident, a vanishing, as if the dead were not satisfied with the ceremony alone, as if they wanted a legacy. Lynn returned to Beijing, her notebooks full, her spirit shaken, but one thing haunted her above all. When she developed the film, there was a figure, not a doll, not a statue. A man, seated cross-legged, face hidden under a red bridal veil. Behind him, 7 shadows, each standing beside a pair of shoes. She never showed the photo publicly. She quit academia a year later, disappeared from public record in 1987, but in the archived envelope that once held her final draft, 1 page remains, no title, no signature. Only this: they are not marrying for peace, they are marrying to remain. Every wedding is a tether. Every tether must hold. Even now, there are whispers of graves unearthed with wedding rings still warm, of young women gone missing only for their hair to be found woven into dolls, of music at midnight with no instruments in sight. So if you walk past an altar left alone in a field and see the glint of red silk beneath a pile of stone, do not uncover it. Do not speak a name. And above all, never accept a wedding invitation. If you don't know who sent it,